All right, how's everybody tonight? Hope you had a good weekend. We are opening a little Prism football again, running through some blasters. I think we was last week, maybe we did a little bit of this, and we're going to do a little more of it tonight. So, of course, as we usually do before we actually get started ripping, we are going to go over some information just to make sure everybody's all on the same page and gives everybody a chance to get in the room and get settled at the same time. So let's get all that underway. So feedback is automated on eBay. Anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. And of course, the other thing there is a big thank you because I do appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, hanging out with me, keeping me company, and all that good stuff. We're going to take a look next at the days ahead. So yeah, I know it's kind of sparse still, but we're getting close, I think, to having our release schedules back on a little more, I don't know, you don't want to really say normal, but a heavier basis, which would have been normal, I guess, before the pandemic. Anyway, we do have a new release tomorrow, which is good news, and that's Hoops Basketball. And we're going to open that by the quarter case because even 5 boxes of that'll probably have, I don't know, 1,000 cards or so in it anyway. Those will be loose boxes from shared cases. And then on Thursday night, we're going to revisit Leaf Metal Draft Baseball. We broke a case of that on release night. We'll break that again. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all going to be off nights. And then we'll get back down to business next week. But of course, we do still have Wednesday and Thursday of this week first. Now, as far as shipping, I'm expecting what we're opening tonight should be out the door and on the way to you approximately Friday. Now, as always, that is plus or minus a day. So if things go well, sometimes it gets out a little earlier than I have estimated. Sometimes things go off the rails and it goes a day later. As it stands right now, I'm projecting Friday. Feel pretty comfortable with that. And if you happen to get skunked in this break, meaning you do not pull a card of any sort at all, base or otherwise, you are still going to get a package in the mail. It's going to have consolation card or cards in it, and it will head out the door when the rest of the break ships, since this is a paid shipping break. I think we're all paid up tonight. Let me look here real quickly. Yeah, we are. Yay. Thank you, everybody. That makes life much easier when we're all paid up. We can just keep right on trucking. So this is a 10-box half case break of Prizm Football Blasters. This is break number 2 of this particular product. And of course, it ended tonight on eBay the same night that we are breaking it, which is Tuesday night, the 2nd of February. And team names are there on the left-hand side, and the eBay user ID of each winning bidder can be found across from their team on the opposite side. We'll kind of scroll down through here and give everybody a chance to see their name up there. And then we'll get down to business here and see what we can find tonight. Actually, oops, there is one other thing I got to do. I need to change up the focus. So you are going to notice that your background is going to get blurry. And I do mean for it to do that. So please don't worry about that. We're still going to be able to see our cards up nice and close. We don't care about what's in the background anyway, right? Exactly. So the last break of this, we had half disco and half laser prisms. And tonight, these came in as all laser. So just FYI, for those of you who were in the last break, you might remember both tonight. We're all laser. So we're going to find 5 of those blaster exclusive laser prisms in each box, according to this. Every once in a while, we find memorabilia cards if we're lucky. And then, of course, there's other types of prisms, like I think there's silver prisms and some inserts that aren't prisms and, other stuff in here, too. So what we'll do as we go through the first box, we'll go a little bit slower than normal just to talk about what we see so everybody can kind of get familiar with the product and what we're finding. And then we'll go a little bit faster in our subsequent boxes. I think that'll be the plan for tonight. I've got some Prizm multi-pack in too. Just yesterday, I think that came in. And we'll be opening that before long. For those of you who aren't familiar with the multi-packs, I think, what are they, like maybe 4 little packs of cards in a solo pack, but one of the packs usually is some kind of exclusive parallel or something like that. So I'll have to look up all the details on it because I just got it in, but it's Prism Football as well, but a little different variant than our blasters. What we'll probably do is a mixer of blasters and that. So, okay, so there's what your just straight base cards look like. And these, of course, are prisms. This is just a silver prism. And anytime you see that nice little rainbow of colors there, the light refracting from it, you know you've got a prism. Those are not numbered. They are just straight silver prisms. And then we'll have several different types of inserts usually. And this one is not a prism. It's not numbered. Many of our inserts will be that way, unnumbered and not prisms, but inserts nonetheless. That particular one was DJ Chark for the Jags, and I think it was a brilliant insert. Now these are our blaster exclusive laser prisms, okay? They're not numbered either, but they are, as we saw in the box, they're exclusive to this blaster product. So that one is the Seahawks and Jordan Brooks. Of course, we're going to find tons of those little advertising cards, and I generally just do that with them. I flip them, so we can see there's nothing stuck to the back of them, and then we just kind of toss them off. So that's how that goes. Next up is Fred Warner, and that's San Francisco 49ers, and it's another laser prism. What else have we got? Adrian Peterson. That's a little blast from the past, isn't it? I mean, it seems like that guy's been playing. I mean, I know he's still playing, but it seems like he's been playing for about, I don't know, 500 years. And that's the Washington football team. And what else? Jacob Eason. There you go. Chargers. Get yourself a rookie laser prism, although, why did I say Chargers? Because I got Chargers on the brain. I'm sorry, not Chargers, the Colts. I got the Chargers absolutely on the brain. That would be Jacob Eason and the Colts. So, yeah, not so much helping the Chargers on that one, is it? Willie McGinnis coming out next, and that is the Patriots for our 5th and final laser prism out of box number 1. So, what did you guys think about the Rams-Lions trade? Tatted Boy has joined us. Hi, Tatted Boy. Yeah, so you remember, what was it, like, I don't know, not that long ago, within the last 10 days, we were talking about, Jared Goff's job is probably in trouble with the Rams because they're going to open up a quarterback competition between him and Walford. And then it wasn't but 3 or 4 days later. Yeah, not so much. We're just going to dump his salary, trade him away, and rescue Matt Stafford, who you know is elated to get out of Detroit, isn't he? Of course, he's used up his, you don't want to say he's used up his best years, because obviously we've still got a few old guys playing pretty well in the NFL, but he used up a lot of his years out stuck in Detroit when they just wouldn't get him any help. So at least now he's going to have he's going to have a lot of things. He's got a lot of offensive weapons and a good defense. He's not going to know what to do. Joey Bosa, Chargers, Silver Prism. Our insert out of this box is Deshaun Watson, another guy who's trying to get out of town. And that is a fireworks insert. Trendsetter Euro says you must be a Lions fan. You're going to miss Matt Stafford. Well, you know what? Sometimes hitting the reset button is a good thing. So with your new staff in place, and now you're going to bring in Jared Goff, you know what? Maybe that's going to work out for him too, for Goff and you guys. Javon Kinlaw for the 49ers. But they're going to have to bring him in some help. They really are going to have to bring him in some help. A Drew Brees coming up next. Laser Prism for Nola. T. Cassidy says the Rams gave too much. Well, but listen, you know the reason they gave so much is because they needed to offload that salary. I mean, Jared Goff had a bloomin' ton on his salary, and that cap hit was crazy, and the dollars due crazy. There's Clellan Farrell and our laser prism there headed to the Raiders. And I mean, they had to give that. They didn't have any choice. If they're going to dump all that salary, you are going to have to give more than you want to give in today's NFL. That's just how that's going to work. Of course, the bad news is for everybody else, there's Quez Watkins for the Eagles, is that's going to completely set the market for Deshaun Watson. So anybody else who thought maybe they could get by with less than, say, 3 first-round picks and something for Deshaun Watson, not going to happen. For the Bengals, there's CJ Uzma. You know, I butchered that, but you got the idea. So I think that's going to be the interesting thing. Because, of course, it is also that the Texans are still saying, no, we're not trading Deshaun Watson. We're not interested. And Deshaun Watson is saying, yeah, you are. So, going to be another showdown in Houston. It's Comeback Nick says, Matt Stafford is not as elated to get out of Detroit as we are to get rid of him. Oh, Lord. I said it's Comeback Nick, didn't I? It's Comic Nick. I'm sorry. I just glanced over there and I missed part of your username. He's a career-long loser, he says. Ooh, harsh words for your former quarterback there. But you know what? Like I said, sometimes the reset button works wonders. So hopefully it will work in both directions. And the Rams will be happy with Matt Stafford, and the Lions will be happy with Jared Goff. And you know what? I think TC's got the right idea there. He said both guys needed a fresh start. I think he is right on the money in that regard. A silver prism, speaking of the Lions, headed to TJ Hawkinson. Fireworks is our insert here, Josh Allen and Buffalo. And this is coming out, laser prism for the Cowboys. Lots of these little advertising cards, but I'm not going to hate on them because I do use them. I do. I'm shipping. Jason Pierre-Paul, happy to get back to the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big Ben, who you all know, I'm a huge Steelers fan, but I got to say, I feel like the sun has set on Big Ben's time with the Steelers, but he doesn't think it has. And they're going to ask him to take less money, and he says he will. Blake Jarwin with the Cowboys. So I don't think he's going anywhere, at least not for another year, but man, I would like to see my Steelers grab like Mac Jones, for instance, at the end of round 1 if he's still there. J.K. Dobbins and the Ravens. But I bet we don't if we still have Ben on the payroll, which I think we're going to. Devontae Parker and the Miami Dolphins. So, I don't know. I think my Steelers are going to be in a bit of a quandary. We've got a lot of free agent guys. We've got guys that are going to be retiring. We got guys that should be retiring and aren't. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's looking happy. I don't think it's going to be happy in Pittsburgh next year, but you never know. You never know. Your YouTube username is YouTube Logitech 1988. All right, well, nicely done. I'm just going to call you Logitech. How about that? How are you? And It's Comic Nick says you are not thinking that they're going to just rely on Jared Goff. You think they're still gonna draft a quarterback here and let him set and learn? You thinking? I think that could be. I think that could be a possibility. And that way you've got at least Jared Goff as your bridge quarterback. I could see that. I could see that makes sense. You wanted to know if all the base cards ship. Yeah. So, I mean, all the cards in here ship, period, but including the base cards. Yes. We just don't talk about the base cards because, well, they're, base cards. So we don't really call them out as they go by, but yeah, they do ship. Kenny Anderson, blast from the past for sure for the Bengals. And there's an emergent insert. That's the Raiders and Henry Ruggs. Next up, Julian Aquara with a laser prism. That is Detroit. Behind that, Gronk, also headed back to the Super Bowl. And that is, of course, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are not going to be able to use their little, cannons after big plays, even though it's in their home stadium. Because, yeah, I know, it's supposed to technically be a quote, kind of a neutral site game. We all know it isn't, but anyway, they can't use their fun stuff like that. So we've got a relic, and it is for my Pittsburgh Steelers, Chase Claypool, one of our few bright spots last year, last season, whatever. Yeah, it was Chase Claypool. So take what I can get in terms of production. Antonio Gates and the Chargers, a little advertising one, and one got left up there, so we'll grab it too. Ooh, the blue ones. So the red and the blue, they don't show up in these blasters as often, obviously, as our other inserts. So they're considered, Panini calls them rare. I mean, I don't know if I'd go so far as rare, but they're not exactly common. Anyway, it's J.K. Dobbins for the Ravens. Jermichael Hasty, and that is San Francisco 49ers. And then a little Keelan Cole coming out behind that for Jacksonville. All right, let's see what's up next. It's Comic Nick says the truly great quarterbacks change franchises, and Stafford isn't that. Well, I don't think anybody's saying that Matt Stafford is, the level of a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers or a Drew Brees. But I do think he probably has the potential to play better than he has when he gets into a little different set of circumstances with a few more weapons, a little stronger line, the things that can help him, maybe scheming a little differently as well. But hey, I get your frustration. I mean, it's tough when you're a fan and your team isn't doing well and all the way around the board. You just probably want it to change up. Trendsetter Euro says the blues are extremely rare. Well, we pulled 2 or 3 of them out of the last half case. I actually find the red is harder to get than the blue, and I think they're red and blue in here, the best I recall, as options. And we haven't pulled any of the red, but we did pull 2 or 3 of the blue the last time. I imagine we'll find 2 or 3 of the blue again, I think. I hope. I mean, usually that's kind of how it would shake out. Jalen Reagor, there you go. Nice little silver prism rookie for the Eagles. A hype insert this time headed to the Raiders. Josh Jacobs. And Chasen. And that laser is headed to Jacksonville. Let's get rid of our little advertising card. Darius Slayton comes out next for the Giants. I saw that Eli has gone to the Giants and said he wants to have some kind of role with the team, mentoring or ambassador or something. So I guess Eli will be back around the building before too long, sounds like. Anyway. Ross Blacklock, Houston. CJ Mosley coming out next, and CJ is headed to New York, the Jets. We've got another relic. All right, that's not too bad. 2 relics. I think that's what we hit out of the last half too, wasn't it? 2. Green Bay Packers get this one. A.J. Dillon. So I heard today one of why have I got Tom Brady on the brain? One of Aaron Rodgers' ex-teammates, who I guess is still friends with the guy, still his buddy or whatever, did some kind of interview and kind of clarified basically that he doesn't think Aaron Rodgers is trying to force his way out of town, but he thinks he's going to try to force Green Bay to pay him a lot more money and give him more say over player personnel type issues. Because I guess he was pretty frustrated that he thinks for several years now that Green Bay has been just like one impact player away from winning it all. And so he's been pretty frustrated that Green Bay's the way they've been drafting. And of course, obviously, he didn't make much secret out of the fact that he was maybe a little unhappy that they took Jordan Love in round 1 last year. So I don't know. It's Comic Nick says he thinks the Steelers defense will still keep us relevant next year. But you know what? We're going to lose guys on defense. I don't think we're keeping Bud Dupree. I don't think we can afford him. Let me get another pack of sleeves here. And then it sounds like Marquise Pouncey's going to retire. Of course, he's, obviously O-line, but I'm just thinking in general, we got a lot of moving pieces, and we got a lot of people retiring and hitting free agency, and defense is going to help us some, but we're losing guys there. And if we lose guys on the O-line and we've got old man Ben, I don't think that's going to be a good combination, man. There's only so much your defense can do. Anthony Miller and the Bears. And the thing is, I'm really appreciative of Ben and everything that he's done. Oh, see, we did hit a red one. I conjured that up, didn't I? And it is Deebo Samuel and San Francisco 49ers. I don't think we pulled a red one the last time. Maybe we did, but I can't remember for sure. I don't think we did. There's a laser Devin Asasi for New England. And then we have another Keelan Cole. We saw him already. Now you're going to see him again for Jacksonville. So yeah, I love Ben. I love everything he's done for the team, but I do think his time has come and gone, and I wish he would kind of just, retire gracefully, but I don't think he's going to. Gronkowski, Buccaneers. I believe that's the second laser that we've had for Gronk, too. Mike Williams with a nice little silver for the Chargers. Our insert from this box is Emergent. It's Henry Ruggs, Raiders. And next up is a Kenneth Murray. And that is also the Chargers. Laser rookie. And look at that. We've got a third relic. That's really not too shabby, guys. That's actually pretty good. Out of 10 loose boxes, we've hit 3 relics and a red and a blue. I'm kind of happy. And this one just happens to be Jordan Love, who we were just talking about a minute ago. So there you go. Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. Trendsetter Euro says he wouldn't mind Brady in red or blue. Well, hey, I'll do my best. I'm going to try it. He says all these blasters and no Tua yet. I know. Or Justin. Yeah. Or Joe. Yeah, I know. They're harder to come by. But we've still got a few to go yet. So I'm hoping they're going to turn up somewhere in these last few. We're going to see if maybe we can find them in here, hopefully, out of our last 4 blasters. I know, that is good for Green Bay, isn't it? I mean, we managed to pull 3 relics so far, and 2 of them going to Green Bay. That's A.J. Dillon and Jordan Love. That's a pretty good little haul right there for Green Bay. So, which both Jack and It's Comic Nick pointed out. This is Willie Gay Jr., Kansas City. I still think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Maybe I'm naive, but I think they are. There's A.J. Brown and the Titans with a hype insert. Well, I should say a caveat, provided nothing else happens with COVID. I think they got a couple of guys on the reserve list right now for close contact, and they need to come off of there. Brandon Ayuk. There you go. Nice rookie laser prism for the Niners. So we need those people to kind of get themselves resolved. But I still think it's going to be new guard instead of old guard winning, but you never know. Bryce Love, and that is the Washington football team. Followed by Jalen Hurts. There's a nice one for the Eagles. Of course, who really knows what's going to happen up there now with the change of regime? I mean, it looked like at the end of the season, you're probably going to see Jalen Hurts as the quarterback and Carson Wentz being traded. But Carson Wentz kind of won the staring contest, and now that they brought in a new coach, etc., I don't know. Maybe it's going to swing back to Carson. Geno Atkins, laser prism for the Bengals. Oh, Akeem Nicks tried to take off on me there. Sorry. Akeem Nicks for the Bears. He doesn't appear to be any worse for the wear, but he did try to slide off the pile there briefly. All right, we've got 3 left, so 7 down, 3 to go. Yeah, so the next break of this that we do, I might do multi-pack, the multi-pack box, which has several of the multi-packs in it, and a few blasters put together, or we might just do multi-pack by itself, blasters by itself. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. You guys have any thoughts on that? What your preference might be, one way or the other? Mix and match or keep them separate? Here is Quez Watkins, a silver prism rookie for the Eagles. Eagles are doing all right all of a sudden, aren't they? Shaquille Griffin and the Seahawks with our laser prism. Our insert is Chris Carson. That's also the Seahawks. That's on the Brilliance card set. You might notice this is, I don't know how well you can tell, but the edges of this is a little, I don't know, ragged's not the right word, but you can definitely see where it's not maybe the smoothest cut. Some of that might kind of wipe off there, but a few of those inserts have had what I'm going to call little bits of kind of like paper tags or something stuck up there on the top. So kind of weird, but not entirely unheard of in this product. Michael Warren, laser prism, Eagles. And the survey says Anthony Miller, Chicago Bears. Let's get rid of that. Of course, you know what I want the Steelers to do. I want to go get J.J. Watt, even though, you know what, he wouldn't be playing every down with us these days, every snap. I mean, he would kind of be coming off in situational usage with the Steelers, I think, which is fine for his age and his injury history. But, man, I'd love to do that and have all 3 Watt brothers. Yeah, that would be fun. Zach Bond, and that is New Orleans. Hey, maybe he would do it. Maybe he would take a pay cut to keep us under the cap if he could come play with his brothers, you think? Yeah, probably not. Wishful thinking. Mark Ingram for the Ravens. Next to last, coming out of the wrapper. Still trying to conjure up some Tua and Burrow and Herbert and etc. So maybe they're going to show up. Oh, did I just put that in there back upside down? Maybe they're going to show up in these last 2, we hope, right? We're going to try to conjure them anyway. Okay. Geno Atkins for the Bengals. Laser. AJ Terrell And laser number 2 out of this box goes to Atlanta, the Falcons. We have seen a ton of Kenny Anderson in here tonight, haven't we? Is it just me? I think there's been a lot of Kenny Anderson. Ken Anderson. Kenny Anderson's a basketball player, but Ken Anderson, or a former basketball player. Max Crosby and the Raiders. Michael Thomas for the Saints. We got Nola in business there. Jawan Jennings coming out next. That's going to be the 49ers with a laser. Trey Boston is our silver prism, and that's headed to Carolina, the Panthers. And then we've got an emergent CD Lamb for the Cowboys. And of course, those are neither numbered nor prisms, but since the inserts only fall once per box, I generally call them out because, you know, why not? That's the way I look at it. So it's time for a little last box mojo right about now. And we're going to have to see if we can't conjure up something special here. We're going to try our best to come up with something interesting out of our last box here. Sometimes you'd be surprised, but sometimes Last Box Mojo is exactly that, and we'll get the best hit of the night out of the last box. It works a surprising amount of time, really. So let's just hope this is one of those times. All right, let's fire up the mojo. Let's see what we've got. Andre Johnson and the Houston Texans. Denzel Mims and the Jets. Brian Dawkins, Philadelphia Eagles. Up here is Hunter Henry. CJ Henderson. And CJ is headed to Jacksonville. Got one little lonely stack left up here. And, there's a Burrow. See what I tell you? Last Box Mojo, man, alive and well. I mean, I know it's just the base Burrow, but listen, we going into this box didn't have Justin or Joe or Tua. Now at least we've got Joe in the base version anyway, so we'll take it. It's better than we were. AJ Epinsa, a laser prism headed to Buffalo. And just a few left now. Brings us a nice silver Henry Ruggs for the Raiders. Yeah, I like that hit too. So very good. And our last insert is the Packers and Devontae Adams with Go Hard or Go Home. All right, so there you go. That is the break. We are going to do a little recapping though. So let me get myself situated here for that. And I tell you what, since we are going to recap those inserts, I'm going to go ahead and sleeve them real quickly. Normally I would just do it after the break, but since we are getting ready to recap them, I'm just going to go ahead and sleeve them right now. And then we'll take a look back through everything. Matthew called it. He said Last Box Mojo. TC said no base Herbert, Burrow, or Tua. Nope, there was a Joe Burrow. There was no Tua, and there was no Justin Herbert, but there was base Joe Burrow. We just pulled it there out of that last box, of course. So, yeah. Alrighty, here we go. These are our inserts. They are not numbered. They are not prism, but they are just one per box in the blasters, so I do generally like to recap them. So you've got a Brilliance for the Jags, Fireworks for the Texans, Fireworks for Buffalo, Emergent the Raiders, hype going to the Raiders, and emergent going to the Raiders again. I didn't realize how many of those were Raiders. A hype for the Titans, brilliance for the Seahawks, emergent for the Cowboys, and then go hard or go home for the Packers. And then there, just since we were just talking about it, there is the base Joe Burrow that came out of that last box, just to clarify. Our silver prisms, not numbered, but hey, silver prisms are still a good thing, especially when they're rookies like this one. Henry Ruggs for the Raiders, Trey Boston, Carolina, Quez Watkins, the Eagles, Willie Gay Jr., Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Williams for the Chargers, Jalen Reagor, rookie for the Eagles, Ken Anderson for the Bengals, TJ Hawkinson, the Lions, Joey Bosa, the Chargers, and Dallas Goedert for the Eagles. Those were our silver prisms. We found one red, and it is Deebo Samuel for the 49ers. And then we found one blue, which also happens to be a rookie, which is a nice little hit for the Ravens with J.K. Dobbins. We ended up with 3 relics out of this, and Jordan Love, Green Bay is one of them. And then you got A.J. Dillon, also Green Bay, is the second one. And our third one fell to the Pittsburgh Steelers with Chase Claypool. Next up, these are, of course, our laser prisms, which fell 5 per box, so there are 50 in total. And, of course, they're not numbered, and I'm not going to necessarily read them all off again, but what we will do is kind of look through them again here one more time. So if you missed it earlier, I'll take another little peek at it, whatever the case may be. Now is your chance for that. I'm going to see if another one of my distributors has any sealed cases of blasters. So far, all I've been able to get have been loose ones. But one of the places I buy from might be getting some sealed cases in, but didn't know for sure, and they didn't know at what price. And I have to tell you, everything is going up, not just week to week these days, but day to day on restock. Something will be one price one day, and if you don't get it that right when you see it, sometimes even later in the same day, they will have raised the price. But they almost always have raised it by the next day. I mean, it's crazy. Even these blasters, they've gone up like 25% in the last roughly 7 to 8 days. And they were already obviously way above normal price, way above retail. And then they've raised them like another 25%. It's crazy. All right, so we are going to go over our information one final time there since we are finished with our recap. If you missed it, I'm going to give you another chance here in a hot second. We're going to take another look at when you can expect your item to ship, as well as what's coming up in the days ahead. So let's take a peek. I'm anticipating Friday as your shipping date. Now, as always, if I can get something out the door to you faster than I have projected, I will absolutely happily do so. And occasionally, things don't go the way I expect in a week, and something ends up going a day later than I anticipate. So that's why it says plus or minus a day, but I always endeavor to get it to you as quickly as possible. Now, if anybody in here got completely skunked, which isn't really likely, but I guess in theory could happen, meaning you did not pull a card of any sort, base or otherwise, you would still get a package in the mail. It will ship out when the rest of the break goes out the door, and it would have consolation card or cards in it. So hopefully that didn't apply to anybody tonight, but on the off chance it did, that's the way it works with our paid breaks. The days ahead look like this. They're kind of sparse still. I know they're going to be that way for the next probably week or 10 days, but it looks like we're about, I don't know, maybe a week away from getting back into a heavier release schedule, I guess is the way to say it. But we do have a new release for tomorrow. It's Hoops Basketball, and we're going to do a 5-box quarter case break of that, which will still be about 1,000 cards. It'll be a hefty little break, even though it's only 5 boxes. On Thursday, we will do another case of Leaf Metal Draft Baseball. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all will be off nights. And I guess that is it for me tonight. So thanks everyone for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I hope that you have had a good weekend and that you're about to have a good week ahead. And hey, listen, come back and see me. If not tomorrow night, maybe sometime soon. In the meantime, stay safe, happy, and healthy. And I'll be back at it tomorrow night. So we'll see you then. Bye now.